We'll do it live! Fuck it! Do it live!
Welcome to Mouthpiece, episode 129. Today we're going to talk about my disastrous World Series and late finish. We're going to talk about the world on fire. We're going to talk about the election. We're going to talk about sports. We're going to talk about the Olympics. We're going to talk about whatever you want. The Mouthpiece is next. What up? Welcome to the Mouthpiece. It's 10 days since the World Series has ended. I was going to have a podcast on the day after, but as you guys, if you don't know, I developed and got COVID and was really sick the last week of the series, the last 2 days of the series. And so, you know, it was a really, really tough series for me. Started off kind of a little bit down. We did I'm so out of it. My documentary showing over at South Point. And we had about 75 people. But like all the poker players who said they were going to come, none showed up. And I changed it from the 27th because they had the draft to the 26th. That kind of really got me down a little bit. And so the World Series started kind of me being a little bit down. And I hadn't took Adderall in like 3-4 months. And I wasn't going to for the series. And a week and a half into the series, I found myself with no patience, making lots of mistakes, and about 8 days in. And so I said, well, I guess I'm going to have to take Adderall. And my pain doctor told me I was probably going to have to, because getting off the pain pills and stuff, it was, and being on the gabapentin, that I probably would. So I got on the Adderall, and I really struggled. I ran horrible, and the days I wasn't running horrible, I was not playing my best. And so 1 week turned into 2 weeks, turned into 3 weeks, turned into 4 weeks, and I stayed positive as much as I could. But I mean, the bottom line is I just went the entire World Series with never having a 2x stack in any of the 10K limit events. Never having a 2x stack. That means I never won a pot in any of the limit events. So it was really rough to deal with. My two best events that I played my best was the 10K No Limit Deuce that Scott Seaver won, and the next best that I played was the closer that I final tabled. So, but it was a battle to play well, and you know, I don't want to make no excuses. I ran way worse than I played. I gave myself, with A being the best I could play, which I thought I played B plus last year, I give myself a C plus to a B, and that's not going to get it done. And that's it. And the one, you know, when I finally did get some chips in some events, I misplaced a few hands here or there, and you know, it just wasn't really that exciting. Hey, are we connected to everything, buddy?
Yeah, we are.
Okay. So you know, it was tough. You know, I want to apologize to everybody. We haven't had a podcast in 8 weeks. But I wasn't planning on doing any podcasts during the World Series because, I was grinding every day. I ended up with 6 cashes. I lose 103,000. That's my only my second losing World Series. Well, I lost 5K two years ago, but this is we had the year I was sick. I lost 150, and then this year. But we were close to getting out, as crazy as it is, and that's why you can never really give up. I tell people all the time, like, you got to fight, you got to fight, you got to fight, you got to fight. And a lot of people, I don't know, did you get the last event log out or no? Yeah. You did, okay. Yeah, so people were able to kind of see, everybody's kind of see what what I went through there, and I never gave up.
You didn't take any footage of yourself puking though.
Daniel got the footage of me puking.
I did see some of that.
So, if as bad as my series was, if I get to that final table and win my first pot, just win the first hand, and double up to 20 big blinds, I'm going to finish in the top 5 or 6. I needed 6 to get even, and we got 10th. So, as bad as it was, I was one hand away from having a winning World Series. And, that's why you can't give up. And I rank the closer as my 3rd best poker accomplishment of my life, following NBC Head Up and the 2002 Omaha 8 or Better Championship. Now, why do I say that? Because I was so sick that they told me if I puked again, I was kicked out of the tournament. And so the crazy shit is I was around somebody 4 days earlier that I didn't know had COVID, but found out that they had COVID the next day. They had full-blown COVID. So I was testing myself the last 4 days before the closer, and I kept coming out negative, and I felt perfect. And the crazy thing is I didn't sleep well that Tuesday night or that Monday night, and that was when I had was going into when I kind of grenaded the end of the PLO 3K and ended up bubbling like a fucking idiot. But I jumped into the closer. I was playing, and out of nowhere, I just start telling everybody, I don't feel good. 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 And they're like, well, what'd you do different? And I said, well, I took some extra Adderall. That's why you don't feel good. You shouldn't be messing with taking extra. Well, I've took a million fucking Adderall in my life. I knew it wasn't the Adderall, and I felt like I was struggling to breathe, and I felt lightheaded, and I just felt like I was gonna pass out. It was just crazy. Then a break happens. I get a wet towel. I put it on my face. I try and eat some food. I eat some pretzels and some water, and I get back and I keep telling everybody I just don't feel good. And they're like, Mike, it's just another poker tournament. Go to the hospital. Go to the hospital. Your life's not worth it. Well, it's not just another poker tournament. It was the last poker tournament of the World Series, and I was making hands. And when you're making hands and you haven't made any hands the whole summer, you just don't quit because you don't feel good. It's like, if I really thought there was something seriously wrong with me, trust me, I would have gone to the hospital. So I'm just sitting there. I don't feel good, guys. I don't feel good, right? And all of a sudden, I turn around, and out of nowhere, I get super nauseous, and I just start vomiting everywhere. I mean, all over the floor. Just I didn't know. I felt so bad, in front of everybody. I was just vomiting and vomiting. Just came out of nowhere. And my nose was running a little bit, and after I was done, they move our table. They moved the table next to it, because I just vomited everywhere. And then I go back to the table, and I'm like, I feel much better, guys, right? But I told them, bring a garbage can next to me in case I have to puke again. So, I'm playing, I'm feeling better, but still a little bit off. And I puke again in the garbage can, right? And they came up to me and they're like, if you vomit one more time, you're out of the tournament. You're kicked out of the tournament. Okay. I mean, to me, I thought I had just like food poisoning or something, I don't know. But I wasn't going to get kicked out of the tournament. So I sat there, I fucking stole a blind, jumped on my scooter, went to the bathroom, and puked. And then I came back and won a small pot. And then we go on break, last break of the night. And I'm like, fuck, man, I can't be puking. I don't know how long this break's gonna be, because I know we're on the bubble of the caching. So I stick my finger down my throat and I puke for like 12 minutes straight in the bathroom. Come back, and now I feel good. And then we go to hand for hand, and I wasn't worried about having to get kicked out now. And then we finished the day with 500,000, which was 25 big blinds, which is the most, like 25 big blinds in a turbo, 30-minute turbo is a lot of chips. So I felt to myself, the most I'd had all summer was 562 in the no limit deuce. And here I had gotten up to 580 and was down to 500 ending the day. And I'm like, okay. So I go to my room, and then I really get sick. And I mean, I don't want to go into detail, but let's just say my stomach was fucked up, and I didn't get 1 ounce of sleep. Not even. I might have got an hour of sleep. So I had my IV lady come over, and I told her what I'm going through, and she's a nurse, and so she filled that. Now I know what they do with those athletes when they're sick and they have to play. Like they're like, oh, he's probably gonna miss the game because he's very ill, and they give him an IV and shit. Well, she gave me this IV, which stopped all the stomach issues, and I couldn't eat. And that's when I realized it right before the night ended, that I think I got COVID, But I was pretty sure by then I had COVID, But I had Danny bring me some masks, and because I didn't want to get anybody sick. And and she took care of whatever she put in the IV, like stopped all the stomach issues. And the next thing you know, I'm in there in the zone, and I didn't take any Adderall. Like, I'm just like, it's like I was like playing on will. I was like willing myself to hands. And I end up, making the final table with 10 big blinds. I literally went the whole day and was between 6 big blinds and 15 big blinds the entire session, the entire day, for hour after hour after hour after hour. And one of the key big pots late in the day, which if we would have won, we might have really had a shot, was a 15 big blind. Guy moves in for 7.5 bigs. I call him with ace jack. He has queen 9 and hits a 9. And that left us with 3.5 bigs after that hand. I then jam with jack 9, the 3.5 bigs. I run into 10s and I hit 2 jacks. So that got us back to 7 big blinds. Then I just moved in like 2 or 3 times and just, the next thing you know, I'm just sitting between 10 and 12 big blinds. But yeah, that ace jack to queen 9 hand late would have got us to like 18 bigs. And then we get down to final table of 10, and I really kind of like had the momentum. Like I'd come off the rail. I really, I just nurtured a really small fucking stack all day long. But you got to remember, it's a super turbo. So like I went to the final table with 10 big blinds, and the chip leader had like 35. 35, I think. And the guy who ends up beating me right when we got back from dinner, he had 23 big blinds to start. And, I just moved in for 10 bigs with 2 10s, and he picked up jacks behind me. And out we went. And it was really kind of disappointing, but it was really, it was kind of exhilarating too. Like when I went to my room, I was in my room crying because I was like, here are 3,300 people, last event. I make the final table on pure will, just determination, will. And I knew I was 1 or 2 hands away from being even for the summer. And if we go double and pick up 2 hands, maybe 3, we win the fucker for $700,000, and we end up having one of the best World Series of my lifetime. So I was pretty emotional in my room on the dinner break. But some things that I don't know if I put in the vlog or not, and I think I did, is I was never going to win that last event, because when I went to my room, I took a shower and trying to wake me up, trying to keep me focused, and all the stomach issues came back. And I'm like, I can't win. There's no way I can win. I'm like, okay, well, if I can win the first pot and double up and then run to the bathroom, but I got to make sure that they don't see me running to the bathroom. So it was kind of, what's the best way to put it? You have all this positive energy going your way. You made the final table of the last event. You're 1 winning double up to get to 20 bigs, and you're going to fucking show a profit for the World Series. And your stomach's complete disaster, and there's no way you're going to be able to win. And so that, and I bring that up because poker and life is a mindset. If you think negative, negative things come. If you think positive, positive things come. And, there's some other things that we're going to talk about during my World Series that made me very negative during the series. But for this tournament, I was very positive. And once the stomach issues came up in the room, there was no longer like, I went up there, I was in tears that I made final table the last event. I was really pumped up. And then I get a shot in the gut, like, oh my God, the stomach just hit me. There's no IV or lady around that's going to help my stomach. How am I going to win? And so my positive mindset going into my room on the dinner break to the final table became a negative mindset. And we lasted 3 hands. And I know a lot of you will say, well, your mindset had nothing to do. You picked up 10s against jacks with 10 big blinds. Okay, you could say that. Or you could say that you manifest your own destiny, which I believe that you do. And once that came up, I knew I couldn't win. So, but I will say that, that was probably my 3rd best poker accomplishment of my life. So, pick up 41,000 last event, 37,000 profit. And I think I think I end up losing 103,000 for the World Series, 106. Well, 106 minus, I think it's 103. So, but I sold half myself to everything. So it's like not the worst of it's never about the money to me, you guys. You know that. It's always about winning. And I'm going to talk with one of the things that happened to me during the series is, and I haven't told anybody this, but when I got back on the Adderall, I became very negative. When bad things started going wrong, I got really negative. And when you take Adderall, you got to sleep well, eat well, and those are the 2 most important things. And something, because of me being off the pain meds, which I thought were going to help me in this World Series, ended up hurting me because my body was so used to being on pain meds for 10 years. And I think all of a sudden, when I was taking Adderall, even though the last Adderall I would take would be like 8 o'clock at night, and we would play till like 1 at the latest, and normally I would just go right to bed, but I was struggling to sleep. I was sleeping like 4 or 5 hours of bad sleep a night. And when you're not sleeping and you're not eating right, and I didn't have my team. Jerry, my ex-girlfriend, my best friend probably, she had to deal with a lot of issues down in LA, so she was in LA. Danny's truck broke down for how long? 2 weeks?
Yeah, like 3 different times.
Like 3 different times. So he had no way to come and get me. So I was stuck in that shithole even on nights that I had bad days. Like I just kept saying I want to go home and be with the cats. And I end up only coming home like 3 times in 7 weeks instead of probably coming home once a week. And that made a big difference. And so my brain was not right a lot of days. Like I was really off. And the days that I was on, I never made hands. And the days I was off, when I did make hands, I made mistakes. And that's it. Just wasn't the outcome I expected. I really thought I would have a big World Series, being off the pain meds. And I even went the first week about 10 days without being on Adderall, and I realized that the grind was really hard on me and I wasn't going to make it. But I almost wish I would have stayed off it because I would have slept better. So anyways, that's kind of what my World Series was. You guys saw most of the vlogs, so I don't have to really go over any of the tournaments. I didn't run my best, and I didn't play my best, and when I played my best, things didn't go our way. And that's it. So could have been worse, could have been better. And so that's World Series 2024 in a nutshell. I kind of like, if you watched all the vlogs, I pretty much brought up kind of what happened and things I made, mistakes I made, and shit like that. And I don't know, man. Just wasn't myself. I was dealing with a lot of issues too that came up, and I talk about them in my vlogs. And Daniel had a room. I had a room too. It wasn't like.
Sleeping in the hallways.
Yeah, I just was struggling to sleep. I don't know why, but anyways, I'm not on any of the pain meds, and I have been dealing with a lot of pain lately, and so it's been a struggle to get myself to the microphone and talk to all you guys. So let's see what else is happening. The premiere went really well. I was very disappointed that no poker players showed up, except for Phil. It goes to show you that poker players don't care about anybody but themselves anyways, but we already knew all that. So again, I kind of had I was pretty upset, kind of negative about that. It really bothered me a lot. And let's see, the Boston Celtics won the NBA championship. I made one big bet on Florida to win the cup against Edmonton, and I'm like, I'm gonna lose it. Something that hasn't happened since 1940 is gonna happen to me. That's how bad my series was going. But we somehow held on to that 5,000. Let's see what else is going on. Well, that's another thing. I didn't win my Biden bet, which I'm literally taking to arbitration, because like, why should I bet 20-1 that he wasn't running. They're like, well, he ran in the primaries. I go, well, no, he ran unopposed. Okay, they wouldn't let anybody run because they're crooked. They didn't want Dean Phillips. They didn't want RFK because they wanted to put their own puppet in. But it was already decided. This is what I told you guys. Don't you guys remember I told you they're having the early debate so they could remove Biden? I mean, it didn't take a rocket scientist, and Trump fell right into that fell right into it. But, if Trump never has that debate, then the Democrats are kind of stuck with Biden. And, but not that it matters. I mean, she's 1,000 times worse than Biden. I would literally, if you put a gun to my head, I would never vote for Kamala. You could shoot me. But if you put a gun to my head, I'd vote for Biden ahead of her. She's the absolute worst. But the funny thing is they know she's the worst. That's why they didn't want to replace him with her. But they had no choice. The Democrats are all about identity politics. They need the first female black president. They need to everything's about race to them. Yeah, she's very evil. Yeah, she's not even black. And the thing is they got their bump, and they have the media behind them. The only thing is everybody's woke up. Everybody knows what's going on. I mean, the polls they've changed 1 point is what they've changed. They like Biden was down 6 to Trump, but they said that if Kamala ran, she was down 2, and then it's 1. But that's here nor there. The polls don't mean shit. But the fact that let's talk about what I told you they were going to do. They were going to try and assassinate him. And now that you could say, well, now some 20-year-old kid tried to assassinate him. have you seen the lacks of Secret Service and FBI and how it was set up? They let this kid in to try and assassinate him. I mean, these are facts. I mean, it just doesn't take, and it's all going to come out. And the fact that we had an American president and leading candidate for president was 99.9% to be assassinated. If he didn't turn his head at the last second to talk about immigration, he'd be dead. And that was 2 weeks ago, and our corrupt media, it's like it never happened. That's it. That's just the facts. And now they installed another puppet who she didn't even poll at 1% in 2019. She was the first one to drop out. She's so awful. She's such an awful person. But I don't know. I don't think that they could win. But I think that if they didn't replace Biden, they were going to lose the House and the Senate. They couldn't afford to lose the House and the Senate. So I think that Trump's going to win. I think the Democrats are going to hold the House and the Senate, or at least one of them. And so he'll be a lame duck president. And that's what's going to happen. That's because they can't kill him now because the security is going to be too much. So that June 27th debate, real early, was so they could replace Biden after the convention. But the thing is they were going to set to replace Biden after they killed Trump. But then a miracle happened. They didn't kill him. So they had to replace him anyways. And everything I've ever said on this podcast came true. Everything that you guys accused me of being conspiracy all came true. I told you they were going to replace him. I told you they were going to try and take him out. What do you want me to say? I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not Nostradamus. I just know. So, I honestly don't think they'll ever allow Trump to see power, but when they missed and they didn't kill him, I don't think they could try and take him out that way again. So maybe they will and make him a lame duck president. I don't know. That's the only thing I could think of. And I agree. They're all in it together. They just get everybody angry at each other, and it's all a joke. But yeah, maybe they'll try and crash his plane. You're right. That's a good idea. That's probably what they'll probably do. Yeah, people that really believe that Biden dropped out for the good of the country. Biden was forced out. There's all kinds of articles that have proven he's fucking been forced out. They don't think Kamala could win. I don't either. But why would I change my tune now? I said they'd never let him win, so who knows? The thing is Trump is smart. He jumped onto the crypto Bitcoin wagon. But he wasn't like, if you listen to the speeches, Trump's was more of a political speech that knew nothing about Bitcoin. RFK and the other guy were all in for Bitcoin. Barry, dude, shut the fuck up. I mean, he's afraid to debate her. No. He agreed to 2 debates with fucking dementia. Oh, dementia head. Oh, what happened? I'm a right-wing conspiracy theorist, Barry, and the president doesn't have dementia. Oh yeah, yeah. Dude, if you quit watching your dumbass fucking news and watch real news, you fucking everybody that's not blind, dumb, stupid, and low IQ knew that Biden had dementia, you know. But then they, the debate, it's almost like they did it on purpose, you know. You have all the media knives out for him the next 3 weeks. The media is always lock and step. They take their marching orders. Did you guys see the card with the talking points sent out to the media? And then all the media was like literally repeating the talking points one by one. So funny. So funny. But anyway, I don't like being right. I mean, I like being right about certain things, but not about like something like this, Trump is a fearmonger coming from the fucking left that says Trump is Hitler. Trump is going to end democracy. Democracy. Well, let's see. The GOP doesn't have superdelegates, and if Barry Wong wanted to run for president and he gets enough votes on the side of the GOP, he could win the nomination. On the Democrat side, they tell you who's going to run the country. Your vote don't mean shit. That's why they had Barry. That's why, what's his name, was winning. Bernie was winning 2 years in a row in 2016 and 2020, and they had to replace him because he's a communist, right? And then this year they had to replace Biden because he was 100% going to lose. And they tried to feed you Kamala. They tried to feed you Kamala in 2019, 2020. Don't you remember she rolled out with a 15% approval rating and all that money in the war chest? And then she was the first one to drop out. She polled at less than 1%, got 0 votes. I mean, come on, man. You guys aren't this stupid. I mean, give me a break. Anyways, the bottom line is if we had a normal world with a normal media, the media would still be talking about 2 weeks ago's assassination attempt on Trump. Instead, it's crickets. They got their marching orders not to talk about it. Matter of fact, Google is trying to erase it. You guys see that one today? If you Google search Trump assassination, it doesn't even come up. The media. Kamala was never the border czar. Well, how come we have like 30 media outlets and 20 different things saying she was? Anything that hurts the left, they get their media lackeys too. Yeah, that's what happened. It healed. Yeah, it healed. It's been 2 weeks. It healed. Look, dude, 3 people were shot. 1 person was killed. And you're talking about Trump's ear, like, being healed. Like, are you that sick? Dude, 3 people were shot. 1 guy was killed. And you act like it's no big deal. I mean, come on, man. Don't be a fucking idiot. I love people that say that my poker game's not great. You find me 10 people that's made $3.5 million the last 4 years playing poker. Find me 10. I bet you can't find fucking 5. But keep thinking I can't play poker. Anyways. I don't want to get heated about politics. Politics is stupid, and we have 4 months to the election. So, what do we have? August, September, October. Yeah. So there's a lot going to happen in the next 4 months. I told you all. It was way too quiet, and there was going to be a lot of shit happen, and everything I said was going to happen happened. And Who cares if Trump's a retard? He is half a retard, but what does that mean? I mean, one side has to accept the vote of the will of the people, and the will of the people wanted Trump to be their nominee. I didn't. And the other half, they don't care about the will of the people. They decided who they wanted to run. They knew that they were going to run Kamala. They knew she had zero chance of winning a primary. And they were always going to replace him with her. I told you guys this. You act like I'm some fucking Notre Dame genius. No. 1 + 1 is 2. 2 + 2 is 4. But according to Barry, 4 + 4 is 9. He's an idiot. She really is a fucking really unintelligent. I'll tell you what. I bet you fucking Barry Wong has a fucking higher IQ than she does. Nah, that might be pushing it. No, I think he does. She's so fucking stupid. But they had no choice. She was the one. She's the one they've been trying to get in for 2 years.
People are trying to call it.
All right. Well, let's take some calls and see what everybody wants to talk about.
The Mouthpiece.
If you'd like to take part in our phone call segment, you can give us a call at 702-329-0480. And if you're a snowflake or a pussy and you don't want to talk to me, you can email me at mouthpiecepodcast@gmail.com. Also, follow me at the Mouth Matiso on Twitter for times that our call-in segment will be live. 702-329-0480. Give us a call. See what you want to talk about. I think that's so funny. This is so true. Welcome to Mouthpieces, Mike. What up?
Mike, how you doing? Matt here from Pennsylvania.
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Oh my God, I got so many different questions to ask you. I don't even know where to start.
Yeah, that's what, I had a million things to say, and I didn't know where to start either. But I knew I had to get better before I could get on here.
Oh, I just had COVID about a month ago. It sucks. Do you lose your sense of taste or smell?
I wasn't able to eat. I lost my taste. The stomach issues were ridiculous. And
the worst for me was I had the chills one day, and I don't care about losing my sense of smell. I don't want to lose my sense of taste. I like to enjoy a good steak and taste what I'm eating,
Yeah, no shit. I have a friend that lost his taste and smell from the first COVID, never got it back.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that would suck.
So I've been an avid viewer of your vlogs. First of all, let me say you're my favorite poker player of all time. I'm just going to throw that out
Thanks,
there.
Bro.
I think your game is extremely underrated. I think when you're on your A game, you're one of the top 10 best players in the world, especially in mixed games. And
wow.
I just
when I'm on my game, I agree. But I also knew like a week in, I was really struggling, and it just it never got better. Like even when I was playing well, I never made a hand. It was really like the stud 8 or better, right? The horse. Like I finished the fucking. I didn't even make it through. Did I make it through to day 2 of the horse? I don't. Yeah, I made it with like crumbs, right? With like 22,000. Yeah, I lost 100K pot to fucking Yuri twice to a 2-outer on the river. And he's like, oh, I was going to fold the turn. I knew I was beat. Yeah, you knew you were beat.
It's just bad luck. It's just ridiculous. It's just bad. The poker gods, they're involved in this too. Sometimes it's just.
Well, the 3 people that finished that went 1, 2, and 3 in the 25K horse don't even know how to play fucking mixed game. They're terrible, all 3 of them.
Which is sad.
But overall, if you look at the people who won bracelets, they were top players. You know what I'm saying? Top players. So you can't.
I'll tell you what. When I saw Ivy win his and Daniel won one, I said, "My boy Mikey's next." And when you made that final table, you made that final table on the closer, I'm like, "Oh, here we go. Let's go." I got pumped.
I was pretty pumped too. Like, I'm not gonna. Like I said, I had tears in my room. I'm like, "Come on, Mike, you could do this." I'm like, everything was like, all I kept thinking about was like, everything is washed away if I win the first two hands I play at the final table. You know what I'm saying? And if I even, like, I started with 10 million at the final table. Racner, who had an amazing World Series, he started with 16 million. He finished fourth. I got 10th, right? And you're talking about he had 6 big blinds more than me. It's just like, I just needed to win that first hand. And fourth was $250,000. First was 700,000.
What are the odds someone's going to have jacks, queens, kings, or aces ahead of you with pocket tens there? I mean, the odds are, the best case, he has ace, king there, and you're in a flip. Like, what are the odds he's going to have a higher pair than you there?
When he went into the tank and he said, "I'm all in," I knew I was dead. I just knew it wasn't ace, king. The look on his face. I kept thinking to myself, please turn over nines, please turn over nines, please turn. That's all I kept saying. But I knew. You know what I'm saying?
I'll tell you what, I hate jacks too. Of any pair, I hate jacks. I can't. I always lose with them.
Well, like he's not even supposed to go all in, okay? Because if somebody picks up a hand behind him, then he's dead, But he's just supposed to call. And people don't understand when somebody calls 10 big blinds, nobody else is coming into the pot with ace queen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but when he moved all in, I knew I was dead. I thought he had bigger than. Jack.
You know something, Michael? You look at the way I look at it. I mean, well, it's different for everybody, I know, but you look at it like, okay, yeah, you didn't get the bracelet, but you beat out a shitload of players to make the final table. And all these guys who won bracelets, most of them ended the series in the negative also. Not too many people leave the series unless you win the main event or in the top 20 of the main event. Very few people leave the World Series on a positive note, even if they win some tournaments.
I mean, Daniel, even after winning 1.2 million, he ended up losing.
He lost money.
He lost more money than I did. You know what I'm saying? So, like, Sean Deeb, lost more money than I did. It's like, the thing is I was so close to having a winning World Series. Like all I needed to do was win 2 pots. Like 2 pots.
Well, you know what though, Mike? You gotta look at it like this too. You had everything going against you. You were real sick. Plus the fact that it's the last tournament of the series, and
how about the fact they wanted me?
Get the hell out of there.
The truth of the matter is, brother, is if the IV lady wasn't able to get my stomach where I could function, I was going to let myself.
You probably wouldn't have made it.
No, I was just going to let myself blind off and take the min cash.
Yeah, exactly.
I had already.
So,
you don't understand. Let's just say, imagine as sick as you think I was, and times it by 100. That's what I was that night. Oh, God. So
I'm surprised you made it.
Well, her coming over at 10 a.m. and giving me this IV, I can't even tell you what she put in it to get me through. I mean, she told me shit that she put in it.
And as much I know you love the World Series, and as much as tournaments are important, I think you're a much better cash player personally. I think when you play cash, especially for
way better cash.
Well, when I watch you play on the Hustler Casino live stream, I get excited because I said he's the best player at the table every time he sits down with those people.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm a better cash player, but I'm a good tournament player, and I listen, I stole a lot of pots and I caught a lot of breaks in that closer to get to where I got to, but I also I played really good, like really good.
I know. The thing I like about you is I know your passion for the game. I know you act. There's a lot of poker players who play just for the money and what, but I know you actually care. Like you actually,
Yeah, I do.
It means something to you.
Yeah, it means everything to me, And one of the big
And the fact that you're not in the Hall of Fame pisses me the hell off. I'm not even going to talk about that because I get fired up every time I think about it. It's an absolute joke. It's a politics. It's a bunch of libtards who don't want to put you in 100%, and it just makes me sick.
Yeah, well, when you have friends like Phil who gives all his votes to somebody else, that's what are you going to do, And
But you want to know, the thing is, even if he gave you all his votes, you still would have been screwed because a lot of those other Hall of Famers.
Well, the thing is,
they're nice to your face.
Oh, I know what they say. Don't worry, and what they've done is now they've made it a popularity contest.
Exactly. Well, here's the thing: if they made it a popularity contest and the people had a vote, you would be in because you're one of the more popular well-known players.
The fact that
years.
they took away the media vote, and they gave all the votes to the players that are in. They're only going to pick the players who they played high stakes with. So Patrick Antonius is a great player. He deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. I'm not taking anything away from him. Right?
Oh no, I love Patrick, but here's the thing. I remember years ago watching you play at that same table with Patrick overseas in London. So it's not like you haven't been playing. You haven't played ice
exactly.
Either.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm still playing. A lot of them aren't. But like Scott Seaver's going to be like first ballot Hall of Famer, then Nick Schulman, then Jason Mercier, and so like my window's closed. So it doesn't matter. And it's become recency bias too. You know what I'm saying?
Well, can I ask who Mystery Person X? Who made the decision to only allow one person in the Hall of Fame a year, which was the dumbest decision ever made?
It should have been moved from 2 to 4. I mean, it's really ridiculous.
They should allow at least the option between 2 and 4 players per year, depending on if there's enough players available who meet all the criteria.
Yeah.
They shouldn't just say just one a year and that's it, because like you have guys like Ted Forrest. Yeah, I know he hasn't played in years, but when I watched him in the early days, he was a freaking fantastic player. He should be in the Hall of Fame.
That's like I was talking to Johnny World, and Johnny World says all my votes go to Ted until Ted's in. Ted was the best player in the world for many years in the late 90s, early 2000s. So
like people, I feel like some of these people have they don't think about some of these players from the past anymore. And I guarantee. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know there's certain players, i.e., full tilt players. If they're not in the Hall of Fame, they'll never get in the Hall of Fame for obvious reasons.
Right.
But there's still a lot of players out there, like who should be in the Hall of Fame that are not, which is an absolute joke, and you're one of them. I mean, God, come on.
I mean,
you brought a lot of eyeballs to the. How many times when they had the World Series of Poker on ESPN did they have Mike Battlesall on at least the first couple episodes? Because you're not only a good poker player, but you're entertaining to the people. I mean, that's got to count for something.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter in the eyes of the people who are voting. Like, they're going to put all the people they played 1 and 2000 in before anybody. Mercier, Nick Schulman, and Scott Seaver are going to be the next 3 inducted. That's just what's going to happen. I could win 2 bracelets next year. It would mean nothing. It would mean nothing. So
you know what's sad? You know what's sad? If you did something like that and say next year got Player of the Year, and they still didn't put you in, that would be a bad look on the Hall of Fame. I thought about something. I know you're good friends with Phil. If I was Phil, and I know he probably has a lot of clout, I would say to them, listen, if within the next couple of years, if Mike Madison's not in the Hall of Fame, I don't want my name mentioned in the Hall of Fame, and if you mention my name in that stupid Hall of Fame, I'm going to sue your ass. Because I think he deserves it. He should go to bat for you like that. That's
Phil
what I think.
Could give a fuck less. That's why I have not talked to Phil at all since the World Series. And for more than other, I'm very upset at him because this guy would he min cast a 25K horse. He gets knocked out 18th, and I gotta hear a cry story. Every time he got knocked out, it was a cry story. Phil won about 150,000 at the World Series, maybe more. I don't need to hear a cry fucking story when I was having the worst World Series of my life.
Well, Phil's ego. If he doesn't win a bracelet in every tournament, it's the end of the world.
And listen, I never got a call from Phil after I finished 10th. To talk about, hey, good job. It's always everything's about him. It's always about him, which I never mind, and I really, but I really, this World Series he really upset me because, remember I talk about having a team, having people pump you up when things are down. I didn't have that. I had to pump myself up, and it's not. I
mean, at least he did come to your premiere. You can at least say he did that.
Yeah, he's the only one that did. And that's only because he was in it so much. Or else he wouldn't have come.
By the way, where can someone watch your premiere or your biography?
We're working on it right now. I'll let you guys know here within the next month. So
that'd be kind of cool. I would love to watch that. Just check it out.
Yeah, 10th out of 3,300.
Even if they somehow put it on your YouTube channel to watch or something.
Yeah, well, we got a lot of money invested in it, so we've got it. We'll see what we get for it, and we'll see how. I've really been just chilling and just trying to recuperate from the series. I was sick. I had the COVID lasted all the way through till Tuesday. So I've been only 5 days where I've been okay. So
two more quick things, Mike. Because I gotta go. I just want to mention real quick.
Thanks, Howard.
The first is I definitely want to see you. Hopefully, when you feel better, I hope to see you play on that Hustler live stream. I like to see you play cash. Whenever you get a chance to get out there.
I might come down to Hustler and play next month.
Because I know you're buddies with the guy down there, the owner or whatever. So
yeah, I might come down. We'll see. Right now, I got to try and see where my finances are at, and got to collect a bunch of people that took pieces of me, and I haven't even called anybody. I've been like, the phone rings, I don't. When you're kind of depressed, the phone rings, you don't answer.
Yeah.
You look at the phone, you see who's calling, and you don't answer. Like, excuse me, but I was dealing with that for a while, and I always get depressed after the series, so I expected to be depressed for like 7 to 10 days, but I'm doing better now. So, anyways,
two things you have to have forward to looking at though. One is obviously you're going to get over the COVID, which and feel better. And the other thing is, one person you definitely never have to worry about making the Hall of Fame over you is Ray Bitar, that snake from Full Tilt.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. All right, man. Thanks for the call. I appreciate it. All right, 702-329-0480. No, I mean, like, listen, me and Phil, we're fine, dude. I'm just really upset at him for a few things. Don't take it the wrong way. Me and Phil are good. I just, when you're having one of the worst World Series of your life, you're dealing with personal issues the whole World Series. You're dealing with your brain not working right half the time, and you're struggling. Phil's like, we didn't talk about many hands this World Series. How come, Mike? I'm like, because I never fucking had a chip or won a fucking hand and had any hands to talk about, And so I never had a 2x stack in a limit event. The most I had was a stud 8, 100K going to day 2. You start with 60. That was it. That was the most I had. But, it is what it is. It's poker. You know, the thing that I'm most proud about is I never quit. I went through 3,300 people and got to the final table of the last event. And I was 2 winning hands, 1 double up at the final table. If I went from 10 to 20 bigs, I was going to finish top 5 or 6. And I needed 6 to break even for the World Series, 5 to show a profit. 4th, I would have showed a 100K profit. So I only had to win a few hands. I was so close to actually showing a profit on the worst World Series I ever had. So, you know, it is what it is. 702-329-0480. Oh, give us a call. Talk about whatever you want. And so, Howard, I appreciate you coming. That was really good. I'm sorry you got shut out of the cash game. I didn't know that was you, or I would have made sure you had a seat. So I apologize for that. Yeah, I did. 2 guys that won packages. One, I think they both played in the cash game afterwards. One guy the one guy who stacked me early. I ended up winning. What did I win? Like 1,500 in that 1-3 cash game. Yeah, I won like 13 or 1,400. We had a lot of fun though. It was good, and I just keep yawning. It's like my brain is just shut off. It just doesn't want to turn back on. Yeah, poker's fun. It's fun for who? I fucking hate poker. Nah, I don't hate poker. I love poker. Well, to Mouthpiece Mike.
Hey, Mike, how's it going, man?
Good, buddy. How are you?
All right. Yeah, I watched you during the World Series. You're only a card or 2 away from making a big score in any way.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, as bad as it was, you know.
Yeah.
If the guy doesn't call my 5-6x re-raise with 3, 4, 5, 7, and which is a horrible hand, by the way, and no limit deuce, because you could only hit a deuce or an 8. If he doesn't hit a deuce, you know, if he doesn't hit that, you know, I was playing good, man. Like Scott Seaver probably lost 20 pots in that fucking tournament, and he lost 15 of them to me. You know, so, you know, I knew where he was at all times. I 3-bet him a lot. And, you know, I was really locked in that tournament. That was pretty unfortunate. I would say that was the best tournament I played. The closer being my second best tournament I played. And those are my 2 best results, you know. I caught a lot more hands in the closer, but in no limit deuce, you don't have to catch that many hands. You know, you just got to pick your spots where to bluff, and there's a lot of skill in that game. And once I remembered how to play the game, because I hadn't played it in a while, I played pretty darn good. You know, just couldn't get anything go my way.
Yeah, it was just a card. I thought you were just a card or 2 away from.
Well, that's it. I was, you know, what, did I lose him? No. Okay. Like, even in the 10K Big O, when I had 425 and average was 200, right? I mean, do I really have to go 3 hours without having an ace in my hand? You know? And so, you know, if I would have, like, I was just 1 or 2 hands away in like 3 different tournaments of really showing a profit. So, didn't go my way. I didn't play my best. And even...
Yeah, you know, this thing about Hall of Fame shit, it's bullshit, because, you know, you were making a big scene, you know, 20 years ago when poker was kind of dying out, and you were kind of a great new personality on the scene, and you were winning.
Yeah.
And I lost interest in poker till you came on the scene. I'm not much of a player, you know, but I'm a big fan of the game, and I, you know, you're the only guy that got me interested because of, you know, the attitude that you brought to the table, man. I mean, you're definitely, you brought a lot of different personality to the table. Like it or not, it was entertaining as shit. And plus, on top of it, you were good at poker.
Yeah. From 2001 through 2005, I mean, I was probably the top. Well, I know I was the top 3 best no limit hold'em player in the world. After Lane Flack, and I felt I was like second best, but Carlos was right there, and Phil, and there was like 5 or 6 of us that were really good.
Yeah, and I'm not saying, you're still a personality in the game. You know what?
Yeah.
20 years, you're still, in the game. And it's like you belong there, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say about it.
Well, like Phil likes to say, "Oh, you'll get in. What does it matter? What does it matter? My mom's 87 fucking years old. That's what fucking matters. Nothing. Me getting in doesn't matter. Me getting in when my mom's still alive matters. You understand what I'm saying?" And Phil knows that.
Yeah, I get it.
You know what I'm saying? And
I'm pissed about it myself. I don't know if you are, but as a guy that's followed the game, I just everybody knows who fucking Mike Mattisau is.
Well,
you know what I mean?
That's the thing, It's like you walk through I drive through the hallways, and everybody comes up to me. I sign 50, 100 autographs and picks a day, and Josh took it this other way, but like Josh Ari doesn't go through the hallways and everybody fucking come up to him and say, you know what I'm trying to say? Again, not taking it. I think I love Josh, and I think he should be in the Hall of Fame too, but
I've only seen you once. I don't bother people, but I seen you once, and everybody fucking knows who you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, and that's the face you want on poker, man. And for you not to be in that realm of what you've done, not only playing, but the public relations that you've created for the game, that you created a big fucking interest in the game.
Yeah,
it's just fucking unreal.
Yeah,
I
just appreciate it.
And in many cases, you can make the argument that you've done more for poker than Phil Hellmuth has. You know what I mean?
No, Phil's done a lot.
I know he has, and Negrano too. But you came in you were a spunky fucking fighter, man, and everybody liked that shit.
Yeah. I appreciate it.
It's brutal.
Anyway, what it is.
Hey, I was going to tell you this. My cousin, I live in Nevada now, but my cousin, we kind of grew up in Colorado. He moved out because he couldn't handle it anymore because too many Democrats and all that bullshit. So he moved down to Arkansas, and he bought some property down there. And he says he can handle it down there. But he was telling me the other day, they've had a whole bunch of immigrants trying to, obtain citizenship down there, and the Secretary of State threw all that shit out the fucking window on them. They said, we're not accepting any.
Just remember, if you listen to the show, I told everyone, it's way too quiet in an election year. Way too quiet, But it's like I told everyone, Biden would not be the nominee. Oh, you're crazy. Oh, Biden doesn't have dementia. Okay. I told you he was going to be replaced. I told you they were going to try and assassinate Trump, And when the truth comes out about how lax the Secret Service was 2 weeks ago, when all that truth comes out, they're all going to get fired. And Christopher Wray, he comes out yesterday. Yeah, Trump was shot and hit with a bullet. Like, the fact that he went on Capitol Hill and questioned it shows you how much they hate him.
Oh, yeah. Ray.
The guy was fucking attempted assassination against a fucking former president and current leader for president of the United States. 2 weeks ago, the media, crickets. Why? Because because the media controls everybody's minds. They control. Look, they propped up a fucking worst vice president in history into like Nelson Mandela II. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh yeah.
the media, how the media controls minds goes to show you what I've been saying, that if Elon Musk didn't buy Twitter, the world would be over. I told you it's going to be the most consequential thing in the history of the world, and I'll stick by that.
Yeah, it's. I mean, this fucking bullshit that they everybody's saying they were preparing letting these illegal immigrants across the border, and that they're claiming there's 5. There's more like 20 million in this country.
20.
But they're trying to get them to vote for this election.
They're documented. There's been 8 million that come across. That's not counting the gotaways, But this is all. There's like it doesn't. That doesn't bother me. What bothers me is how they're cleaning it up. Right? They're cleaning all the homeless up now in California. They could have done this for years, but because Kamala's who destroyed fucking San Francisco, her and Gavin Newsom, and dude, they're trying to they put an executive order that's cut border crossings down by like 55%. They could have done that 3 years ago, but it's doing it now because it's an election. It just shows how crooked they are. And what they're doing, like they're getting rid of the homeless, they're doing all this shit. It's insane, dude. It's just that they think the American people are stupid. And some of them are. Like some of them that are in this chat are fucking really low IQ of individuals, But
yeah, like Japan, their cities ain't nothing like California cities.
Yeah.
Or even any other city, like Denver City. It's a piece of shit town, Denver is now.
Yeah,
but, these other cities around in the world, you go to Turkey, Greece, they're all fucking hoity-toity, nice, spiffied up. And you go to L.A. and it looks like a fucking war zone.
Yeah, well, they're
going
to clean that up before the election. They think people, well, the thing that I realized from COVID is most people's intellect they can't remember what happened more than 2 weeks ago. That's scary. Like, honestly, I said this before, I'll say it again. I know I'm a great poker player, but I didn't really realize that I was that much smarter than most of the people in the world until COVID came around. Like, people don't have their memory can't even remember past 2 weeks. It's so crazy, Anyways, I got to take another call. I appreciate it.
Yeah, okay. Take care, man.
All right. Have a good one.
Bye.
Yeah, I just had COVID. What does that mean? It doesn't mean that I'm fucking still wearing a mask 5 years later because the people in charge who told us masks didn't work decided to tell you that masks do work. Please.
Well,
what's up, man? Welcome to Mouthpiece.
Hey, how are you, Mikey? Good to hear that you're feeling better from that battle with the COVID.
Yeah.
Terrible.
I was. This was a whole different COVID than anyone I've had before. This one, I didn't have a fever. My nose barely dripped, but I had severe stomach issues. And that's, I guess, if you read about the new variant, that's what it does to you. So.
I had it recently also. It took me out for about 3-4 days. Didn't eat or drink or anything for
I didn't eat
days.
either. I didn't eat for fucking like 4 or 5 days. And then all I've been doing is eating. I've probably put on 10 pounds the last 4 days.
Well, that's good. You gotta get the weight back and get your strength back and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I tuned in a little late, but I wanted to ask you. You have an opinion on the controversy with the RTA and the computer?
Nah, my opinion is it's just a bad look for poker. That's all. It's just like, people say, it shouldn't have been allowed in the area, and it's a bad look for poker. But this is, there should have been there should have been a 2-3 hour. I've been telling Maury for years there should be a minimum of 2 hour delay, maybe even 3. Like, what does it matter? You know, people shouldn't be able to do that, to look at a live tournament and get video and see, you know. It's not like it's a sporting event where, hey, look, the guy's over here, we need to adjust here. It's a fucking game. You know what I mean? It's a fucking, I don't know. I just thought it was a bad look for poker. That's all.
Are there other people who haven't made the Hall of Fame that you feel are justified to be in there as well?
I mean, me and Ted Forrest. You know, Matt Savage after that. That's about it. I mean, I don't, you know, that's all.
I thought they could put more than one person in per year. Is that not the case?
No, they changed it in 2020 from 2 a year to 1 a year, which made no sense.
Yes, should be able to add a couple people in and speed up the process if warranted.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
All right, it's nice speaking to you, Mikey. Mikey, just for the record, I'm not one of those idiots. I'm usually right on a lot of things. I put 5 times down for the Democrats to win this year, plus 135, just for the record.
You bet on the Democrats?
Yep, 130 plus 135.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I told you that I don't think they'll ever let Trump see power. I'm not going to. Why? You know, the only reason why I think there's a chance he could win is they can't kill him now. You see what I'm saying? They were always going to kill him. I told you that. And they can't kill him now. And so the fact that they can't kill him now, that gives him a chance. You know, but
he's self-sabotaging himself, and he speaks about the same bullshit and the same crap over and over, and people are starting to get a little tired of it.
I agree with you, bro. But she's so evil, it doesn't matter, man. She's so bad.
It's not a vote for her, it's a vote against him, you know what I mean?
I get it.
I don't know what it comes down to.
Yeah. Well, no, I agree with you, bro. I mean, people are like, I thought you don't like Trump. And I'm like, well, just because you don't like somebody, you know, if it's more like you have to see what like the wokeness and the bullshit and the policies and the things that are just hurting the country, you know. So it's like, you know, people will be like, because I'm out on Twitter, you know, being like pro-Trump. It's not I'm pro-Trump. I'm anti, like, you know, you say people are anti-Trumps and that's why they're going to vote Democrat. Well, I mean, there's the people like me that are just, couldn't give me 100 million cash to vote for a Democrat. If you put 100 million cash in front of me right now, I swear on my life, I will never vote for a Democrat because I know what's going on. I know how sick and twisted they are, you know. So sometimes you just got to fucking, like Liv Boris said, and she's as far left, used to be as far left as anybody, and now she's come across the aisle somewhat. And she says, we hated the messenger so much, we missed the message. And his message was pretty darn good. And the messenger is pretty fucking bad. So
hope to see you in the Bahamas. I don't know if you're going to make the trip for some of those tournaments out there.
I might. I'll let you know.
That's a good. It's a good place to be if you're playing poker.
As long as it's not at Atlantis. Was that Atlantis last year? Is it back at Atlantis again?
It is. Why, you don't like that hotel?
I got a better chance of fucking voting Democrat than I do of going to Atlantis. That place is the fucking worst. And they don't give a fuck. They treat you like shit. They're just
the Bahamas. It's not America.
Yeah, no, but the
food sucks.
Everything's inclusive, so the service sucks because they already got their tip up front. And so
and it's an overpriced property.
But the new place, Bahara, what's it called? Baharan or Baharan? The new place I heard is really nice. So, you know, that's where PokerStars has their PokerStars event. So,
all right, 101 days. I'll cash my 5G ticket plus 135. That's my tip of the day.
All right. I hope you win. You know why? Because then Phil loses. I gave Phil 3-1 with Trump 2 years ago. I said there's no way he's going to run because if he really believes it was stolen the first time, what makes you think it ain't going to get stolen the second?
I hear you. I hear you. I'm following the money. My heart is neutral. All right, buddy. Take care. Have a good evening.
Later. Bye.
Yeah, a bunch more calls.
All right.
That's what that noise is.
What up? Welcome to Mouthpiece.
What's up, Mike? How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good, man. It's Tony from Philly. I only called in once before, but I had a poker experience. I was calling in to get your take on it,
Sure.
maybe a little advice. So I play in this game once a month, and there's about 30. We had 36 this month, and I'm a regular player, everyday player online, and I go to casinos and play from Philly. And I'm better than 95% of this field. It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
There's no competition, and it's just easy money. So this past time here, I got the chip lead before the first break. I was way up. The second place guy didn't even have half what I had. And in 3 hands, before the freaking break, I went broke, believe it or not. And it was somebody called a 3-outer on me, money all in. Next, like a couple hands later, somebody called a 4-outer on me. And then a couple of hands later, somebody called a 3-outer on me, all the money in there. I buy back in, and then like almost the same exact thing happens. I get all the way back up to 4th in chips, and then within like 20 minutes, I'm out. So how do you not go fucking insane when this shit happens to you?
That's why
because I know you have a lot of experience.
That's why I don't play tournament poker, dude. Tournament poker is for fucking idiots that can't fucking play poker. There's a lot of great players that win, but like 99% of tournament poker players are broke, dead broke. You know, nobody wins at tournament poker, dude. You got to make a score and you got to invest it. That's it.
Well, I play. You know, I don't play high stakes. I do play cash games, but and it's not the only time that like this has happened to me in a live game. You know, this also happens to me in cash games a lot. I swear I get into positions where I just am in so good, and then it all comes crashing down. I have
days where it happens a million. Dude, that's poker, dude. It's like, but at the end of the month, I have more money in my account than I did before it starts. So what does it matter? You know, like people like talk about professional poker players that don't keep track of their wins and losses. I don't keep track of my wins and losses. I just know at the end of the month I get money sent to me. You know, I don't even know. I just know I win every month. You know.
Yeah, I just had sometimes I don't know how people don't go insane, like when this shit happens to them. Like, but anyway, when's your documentary coming out? I don't know if you talked about that. I was just tuning in.
We're working on with some people right now, and I'll let you know when. Hopefully in the next couple months. So, we're just finishing up to see what happens. So,
sweet. Right. And good job getting off opiates, man. I have almost 10 years off of myself. It's not easy.
Yeah, but my body wasn't used to it, and I could not. I struggled to sleep with the Adderall, and that's because of whatever. I thought it was going to be a plus for me, and it'll be a plus for me in the long term, but for the short term of the World Series, it actually hurt me. But that's okay. My life's good. Life is good. Can't complain.
Yeah. So cool, man. Thanks for taking my call. Take care, Mike.
You got it, buddy. Take care. Later.
Yep.
Oh man, my knee is fucking killing me. Oh, Woody, come here, Woody. Hi, baby. Hey. Come on.
Yo.
What up? Welcome to Mouthpiece.
What
Mike.
up?
What are you doing?
Just watching you, brother.
Yeah. What are you up to?
Yeah.
What's up?
I've never done this before, bro.
What's up?
Just watching you. I've been watching poker for decades, man, and you're just a legend, bro. So
Thanks, buddy.
I'd seen the number on there. I figured,
thank you.
let's give it a shot, man.
I appreciate it, man.
For sure. How'd you start playing with the best players in the world, man?
Well, I mean, you start small and you move your way up, you know. And
so you started what? Played what?
4 and 8 limit hold'em.
4 and 8 limit.
Then 10-20 limit. Then 20-40 limit. Then 40-80
you
limit.
You kept winning, huh?
Then 75, 150, 1 and 200, 2 and 400, 4 and 800. No, there was a lot of downturn, you know, some bad times. But
yeah,
you know, I mean, where you start doubting yourself. But you know, I mean, I'm probably not the limit player I once was because I don't play. I just play no limit hold'em right now. But you know, if I needed to grind poker for a living, if I needed to make $10,000 a month, I can make $10,000 a month. You know, but you know.
Yeah, I need to learn how to do that. I just fucked up, man. I just lost a bunch of money, man.
I was talking to somebody in my Twitter DM, told me he had like $500,000 a month ago, and now he doesn't have money for groceries, and his mom's helping him out with groceries. He goes, "It's pretty sad." I said, "Well, it's not really sad unless you learn from it, you know."
But yeah, that's the thing is like being able to like.
You got to learn from it.
Separate the money. And to like keep track of everything you've won and lost in every session.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really care what I win or lose. I just know at the end of the year when I pay my taxes and I pay my bills, is there more money in my account than there was the year before?
Yeah.
And the answer is no, which has never happened. You know, then I'll reevaluate things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, baby.
So tell me this, man. I love Negreanu. Is he voting Biden?
I mean,
I believe in capitalism.
He'll never vote for Trump. Is that what you want to know?
I still love him no matter what. I love him. He's
But-
my guy. I love him. He's good for the.
I guarantee you that if somebody not named Trump was running on the right, he would seriously consider voting for them.
The only thing I'm worried about.
Where 8 years
Trump,
ago,
man,
I couldn't say that.
The only thing I'm worried about with Trump is that he wants to give the police more power.
Well, the thing is as much as the police have fucked me in my life, I'm a big proponent of the police. Like, I want to give the police as much power as I can to get rid of the crime. So if I want to go downtown or if I want to walk on the strip, I don't have to worry about getting robbed or killed. And
Well, I'm not from Vegas. I live in Cleveland. So, like...
Well, Cleveland is pretty bad, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I live in... Dude, I'm not living good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not living that good either. I mean, I live in a rental. I have an office, and it's not like I have my big house I used to have.
Yeah.
You know, I just pay my bills, and I don't know. I got to work on myself now that the series is over, and I need to just better myself a little bit. So
I feel you, man. Is this going to be online?
Yeah, it's on your live right now. So.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I'm not going to say what I said.
Well, you can say whatever you want to say. It doesn't matter.
No. It's all good, dude.
All right.
Dude, I'm glad you guys called me back. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Anytime, man. And we're gonna be running our podcast probably Friday nights.
Friday night.
Or Saturday nights, with the football starting in about 5 weeks, and we give our pick of the week out. And then I just I love watching football. I'll have my what's it called? My survivor pools and my contest pools, and I like work. I don't bet much, but I bet like $2K on my pick of the week and $1K on my second best pick. And
I love
last
you
year
guys are saying degenerate gamblers.
Yeah, last year we did good. We went something like 20. Was it 36? We went like 26-12 on the top pick and my second best pick. So.
Wait, betting on sports?
Oh, just the football. I don't bet on sports. I don't even bet on football. I
don't know enough either.
Don't ever bet sports. You'll be fine.
Yeah, I haven't ever got into it.
Smart.
I I won a bunch of money one time playing on party poker.
Yeah.
And I won like thousands of dollars in like a couple days, and I was like, I ran downstairs to get my brother. I'm like, look at this shit. I was like, this is easy, bro. And then I ended up losing like so much. I really thought it was set up like the one hand that I always played like limit poker. I was playing like 10-20 and 15-30, and I got pocket aces, and the flop was ace jack, six-handed. Dude, I'm trying to get it all in, and this dude keeps raising me. He had pocket jacks. I was just like, dude, there's no way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I with all the stuff that's happened online with like these, I don't know if it was full tilt or whatever. The guys stole all the money. Yeah. I don't know, but I just feel like it's just playing online is risky.
Yeah,
to say the least.
I wouldn't play online. I mean, I play in a private game, but I would never play online.
Yeah.
I mean, they're playing for so much money online. They're crazy, but it is what it is.
Yeah, all right, Mike.
Well, man,
you
gotta make sure you listen to the Mouthpiece every week, buddy.
I will, bro. I'm gonna listen to you for sure.
All right, man. Thanks for calling.
Man. Black Sheep 216, bro.
You got it, buddy.
All
Take
right.
care.
Later.
I don't want to call anybody back right now because my nose just started running. But you asked me what I think of J.D. Vance. He was not my first, second, or third choice for VP. I think he's a good guy, but you know, I really wish that I really wish that Trump would have somehow got Kennedy as his VP, because he would have been a lock. But we'll see what goes on. You know, there's a long time to the election, a lot of things going on. But I will say this. Whether you like Trump or not, an American president and leader for the Republican Party was 99.9% to be assassinated 2 weeks ago. And the fact that the media has gone crickets about it should offend everybody, whether you're a Trump supporter or even if you hate his guts, because that should be the biggest story in the world. And we're 2 weeks in, and they have no answers. Nobody has any answers. That should scare the fuck out of you. And with that, I would like to say I will see you guys next week. I'm glad you guys tuned in to all my vlogs. I hope you enjoyed them. And I love you all. And I'll see you all next week on the Mouthpiece.
The Mouthpiece.